We're going to start with some of the questions from yesterday, but if you have a question now, I will go through and put you live up there. I know, this is so cool. All right, let's see what we have. Yesterday, there were so many good questions. Let me just get this screen up here in really big letters. Some of you asked me, what did I mean by about where are these videos going? Well, they're on Facebook. You can always go back and watch these again on Facebook, even if you're not here live. So those of you not watching live that are popping in now, welcome. I always come back. But I'm posting these on YouTube because I have gotten a ton of emails from people that are saying they're only staying on Facebook to watch my show, which I love you for that. But I will put it on YouTube so you don't have to stay here just for me. You can't watch it live, but you can watch it later. So there you go. I know I don't want to even open that Pandora's box, but yes, I have watched the news and I don't live under a rock. And you notice that I don't post photos of my nieces and nephews very often. And now you know why. So I'm just telling you guys, just be a little careful on that. But anyways, you can see it on YouTube if you decide not to come over. Yes, Arnell, you were on the show. You are on the show. All right. So I can see, let's see. I just want to make sure I have this rolling. I think I'm just going to test something. If I touch on this, I want to see who shows up. Perfect. Do I have a pattern for the orange top? Great question. Phyllis, are you talking about that top right behind me? All right. Well, let me move my mic here for a second. Now, I am as grungy as it gets today. But this top right here, I posted a link to this yesterday. And this is on my YouTube channel. I did it on It's So Easy. I know, is this fun or what? So this is not a very pretty concoction of colors, but hey, what do you do, right? This fabric is so soft. So this side's stretchy and this side's really soft. And it's not hemmed at all. This is the square jacket. I show you how to drape it. So do you have a dress form? All you have to do is, and I have the whole video on YouTube. See, this is just a big square. I'll hold it up here just so you see. One big square with 2 armholes. And to show you where to place the armholes, those are up here. Yeah. Is the fabric inside out? Let's see. Oh, lavender. That would be really good in lavender. Although I look better in a little darker purple. So, no, it's not inside out. It is not. And yes, that is the Oh Fun orange jacket. Hi, Amy. Here we go. Here it is. Michelle wants to know, is the fabric inside out? You know, I have no idea. Both sides look good. Both sides feel good. I just wanted this here's your word for the day, slippery side, which this is soft, and if you can imagine, slippery. Is that a good description? And this side is furry. So the furry side would feel good against your skin if you were not wearing anything under it, like a tank top. You know, I wasn't meaning like incognito. The furry side would feel good, but I wanted this slicker side because then if I wear like a t-shirt or a long sleeve shirt, which is what I've been wearing every day, my arms can slide in and out easily. So either way would work great. Okay, what else do we have up here? Oh, I know. Isn't that fun? And so many of you have asked about that in the past. What kind of fabric is it, Veronica? Well, the fabric is, I really don't know. It was definitely under the novelty knits, meaning it's made up of probably a little bit of everything. But if I were to be a betting gal, I would say it's a polyester blend. It doesn't feel like ITY because that's too slinky. I really don't know. We're going to call it a novelty knit because I really don't know. Yeah. Okay. So, by the way, are you having fun with this? So now you can actually see who I'm answering. I think that's very cool. So I don't want you to be shy. Don't worry. If I put your phone, get my hair out of my face. If I put you up here on the screen, don't be shy. Yes, it is reversible, Susan, except for the fact that the inside of my armholes are serged. So if I put a bias binding around that or did a French seam, then it would definitely be reversible. or a flat felled seam. That would be a little bit more difficult. I know, isn't it fun, Leslie? So here. Yeah, I agree. All right, so are you ready for some of the questions from yesterday? And I'll take new questions too, because this is way too much fun. Now it feels like I'm hanging out with you for real, because I could see you even better, except for on the other software, I could see your little beeble heads going up when you would hit like and smileys and stuff. Now I just can put you up there. I know. My boots are being on the screen. Oh, I think you didn't say boots. I just need my glasses on. All right, so let's skip ahead to some of these questions. The fabric I showed you yesterday already is almost sold out. There's 4 yards left when I just looked on here. And it's not because you missed it online. It's because you all know how to find me. So I got a couple phone calls this morning and a couple emails. And so it was all gone. So there's 4 yards left if you want it. I have it. I've already left it on sale, so you don't need a coupon code. But I have a whole stack of fabric books to go through tonight to order more, because not that exact one, but something, I have a lot of fun things coming. So don't stress on that. You need a tea. Yeah, by the way, this is really good tea. I can see that. Okay, so wait, I'm just going to skip to this question real quick, because this was not a question from yesterday. Have you made any patterns for teens, tweens or teens? Well, this is a really good question, because I had somebody a while back asking me if I would make patterns specifically for that age group or that size. And no, I don't have anything for that size. But that being said, quite often, yesterday when we were talking about ready-to-wear sizing, in a lot of my patterns, I said mine are sized similar to ready-to-wear. Well, that's a very broad term, because remember yesterday we talked about sizes, and ready-to-wear for everybody in the United States tends to be a very different sizing, very different. So when I said ready-to-wear, I was referring to my ready-to-wear line. So most of you have never purchased one of my garments that are completely, finished because you're sewing. But if you had purchased one of my ready-to-wear, my patterns are sized the same. So that's what I meant by that. So when you're asking this about patterns for teens and tweens, it depends what size they are. It's very easy to alter a pattern for them. It's usually in length. And I'm going to use a top, for example. You can lengthen it from this section of the pattern. So let me just bring you down here. Let's see. I should have grabbed my daylight board. I wonder if I might have to plug that in, because I have my little croquis under it. So let's just say that this is your top. And by the way, once all of my little nieces get old enough, I probably will start sewing these. I don't have very much fun sewing for boys, though. No offense, guys. So if this was a size, say a 00, or a size 4, or something of that sort, and you're making this for a tween, you would basically cut the pattern across here, no T, and make it shorter. And that's one of the main things that's finished. The other thing that's finished is the bust. But I have to be honest, nowadays, it used to be like no bust at all for teens and tweens, and it's changed. So you can easily alter a regular pattern for a teen and tween, but usually it's length, not so much the width. You can buy the pattern for the width and then change the other things like the length. The shoulders might have to change a little bit. So there are a few alterations. Personally, I have not used any patterns of any ones for that sizing, so I could not give you advice if it was really, positive experience or not. But on that note, I'm going to just take your comment off, because I'm going to switch this for a second. I did grab a bunch of patterns from my mother's house last week. We both have collected patterns forever. You saw yesterday, mine aren't even opened yet. Oh, yeah. So anyways, I took a bunch of little baby stuff for my sister's twins that are coming. Twin girls. Yay. Hope they weren't making any. I hope they don't make a mistake, because they're all going to end up with little pink onesies when they're born. All right, so this is Cattell again. I'm having problem with the bust area. So Cattell, tell me a little bit more. Too large, too small? You can do just standard bust measurements, like a full bust adjustment. So here's another thing. I see a whole bunch of your questions rolling through. Oh, thanks. Thanks, Emily. Here's the thing. When you're doing an adjustment, so some of you said yesterday you prefer to do the high bust measurement and then you adjust the pattern accordingly. Well, it depends how advanced or beginner you are on altering patterns. So I personally like to do the full bust measurement, the full waist, and the full hips. What I do is if, say, the bust is much larger than everything else, I might actually take a smaller size and do a full bust adjustment. Let's just say the waist is bigger than everything else. Well, then I would probably take the full waist and adjust. But here's the thing. Let me bring you back down to a pattern before I confuse the heck out of you. If this is, let's just use a dress here. Hey, by the way, am I right side up? I guess you can't really tell, can you? Tell me if you can read this right side up, so it's not backwards. I'll be very excited if that's the case. Oh, yes, yes. Okay, so let's just say this is your dress. If everything through this area fits, or say, if you do your upper bust measurement and it matches that, then you can adjust this down here. But what I like to do is the full bust measurement, and that's what I use for what I'm determining what size to do, because I don't have any problems altering the shoulders or the neckline. If you do, well, then you probably want to go with whatever size would be in this area and adjust down. Now, when you get down here, if you have to go out for the waist or in for the hip, it's a very simple alteration. You can cut the pattern, you can cut and paste it to make it smaller, or sometimes I'll just use my curve rulers and design it that way. So without getting super technical on this and having a very specific course on this, and maybe I'll put together a good webinar specifically for maybe adjusting a top or something like that that's not too complicated, or a jacket, because when it gets into the collars and stuff, I think that's where everybody really has the panic attack. For simple tops, though, I guess it's really your preference. For simple tops, I find if I go with the full bust adjustment, I can adjust everything else around it. Or, but I'm not like, if you're triple double D or something like that, then that's a whole different, ball of wax. If you're a size 2 with a very, a large chest or whatever, you might want to go with the smaller size and do a full bust adjustment. This question came up a ton yesterday in the comments, and there really is no way, good or bad way to answer it. It's just really your preference. It is. And if you are clueless, then I would suggest taking a couple fitting classes. Like I said, I'll probably put together a webinar on this, but I also can give you resources for a few online classes that teach. There are a lot of teachers that teach different ways, and you're going to either mesh with some of them and not mesh with the others. There's such different ways of teaching. So that's all I can really give you on that. Leslie, I see, let me just see here. I saw a couple comments. I know, Leslie, twins are very exciting. Okay, here's one more on you. I'm having a problem with the bust area. Thanks for answering that question. So in that case, you probably would want to buy just a standard pattern and then do a full bust adjustment or a small bust adjustment. That would probably be the only change you need to make. There are obviously different pattern alterations. For example, in the women's sizing, for plus sizing, there might be a curve in the back, something like that. Hi, Michael. Yes, I am live. I'm here live. Yeah. You would love online class recommendations. Okay, you know what? I'll put that together and put it into a blog because there's quite a few. And yes, Christine, Kenneth King's book is out. I have not read it yet. Someone just said, let's see. Put that up there. Someone just said that they got his book. Who wrote that yesterday? I think it arrived at their house. I don't remember who it was. I mean, I do. I can picture what their face looks like. I just can't think of who their name is. Okay. And yes, I will give you some recommendations. All right. Let's see. Here's a good question. With the waist, it's pretty easy to make it wider because it doesn't affect a lot of your other measurements. That is so true. The waist or the hips. In fact, the waist is really easy because let's just say you're doing a dress and your dress has darts, or even like just a regular sheath dress with darts. You can let the darts out to change the waist. You can let the side seam out to change the waist. You can do any of those things. So the waist is a lot easier unless you're getting into pants. Then it gets a little challenging because if you let the waist out, then you could change things. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to make a joke with you, Michael. Yes, I am live. All right. Correct orientation. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So here's a few more questions. And I saw a whole bunch of questions come through. I'm wearing the Delilah. Yes, I am. And this is that faux leather. I think I sold out of this. Another one that I mentioned online, and then I got a bunch of emails right away. So this is just a rayon knit, and this is the Delilah where the strip on the outside. You know, there's 9 variations in that pattern. I think I actually see if I have it up here somewhere. Yeah, this is what I'm wearing. This one. So it has the trim on the outside. It's long sleeve and has cuffs. Very comfortable. My mic's pulling down on my neck, but that's okay. My neck. And this is a rayon knit. I think I don't know if I have this online still. I have this in green, I think, but I'm ordering a whole bunch more of this, and I have some in tie-dye coming. Really pretty colors. You're going to love it. So, yes. So thanks, guys. I'm glad you liked my top. Okay, so here's a question from yesterday. Terry asked, I bought 3 shirts from Kohl's. Oh, yesterday. Do you remember when we were... Oops, I lost my mic. Do you remember yesterday when we were talking about upcycling, where I told you I went and bought a bunch of clothes from Nordstrom Rack? Yes, I did buy clothes, but I only bought them for the fabric. I'm not going to wear any of these clothes. They were like stretch velvet. I will bring them. If I go live tomorrow, I'll bring them. Or I might go live Monday or Tuesday. This is way too much fun, and I can't save all this for Wednesdays. But I bought it just for the fabric. So Terry on here said that she bought 3 shirts from Kohl's, same design, 2 fabrics were the same print, different color, and 1 fabric was a plaid woven. The sleeves are way too tight in the plaid shirt around the biceps. So now she's going to try to figure out what to do with the shirt. Okay, so first off, Terry, if you're on here, I have to know, was this the, is it Vera Wang at Kohl's? Because I don't know about any of you all, but I like the style of her clothes there. And at Christmas, sometimes I'll pick up a few things, or if I'm getting ready to tape a bunch of videos, I might just go buy a couple tops just because I don't have time to make new tops. And I bought, I don't know, 5 tops from that brand and tried it on. And the top is super loose and the sleeves are really tight, like so tight that, by the way, my arms are not that big. I mean, I'm muscular, but, you know, not so big that I can't fit into a top. So this is all big. And I was like this. They were so tiny. I don't know how big those arms are that they designed them for. So I just have to ask if that's the brand and if any of you have had that experience, because I had to return everything. I thought, this is crazy. So Terry just said that. So what are you going to do with the sleeves? I'll give you some ideas. So her top fits fine. The sleeves are too tight. She has 3 tops. They're all contrasting fabric. It sounds like 2 of them are similar and 1 is a plaid woven. Okay, so you could find a solid color fabric, which this is kind of a cute idea. Well, unless the top's huge like mine was and then the sleeves are too small, you could take fabric from the top and attach it underneath your sleeve. But you could open this seam right here, or you could cut down the outside of your sleeve like I have here, and then you can add a piece of fabric. It'll look like a trim. Super easy to do. I mean, well, not super easy, because you'd have to open up the sleeve. If you put a slit on the outside, you're going to have to remove the sleeve from the whole blouse. So it would go in this order. If this is your shirt and your sleeve is too tight, you can open this underarm seam and attach a piece of fabric right here. And that would give you something to go underneath. Oh, Veronica, what a great idea. She says lace. Oh, yes, lace. You could put lace or a contrasting fabric. Another idea would be to give yourself a line down the center outside. You could cut along that line. Now, don't forget, you're going to need to add fabric plus a seam allowance, but then all you have to do is give yourself a strip of fabric about like this to go in there. And that could also be lace or something else. Great idea. Yeah, I really like that. So what you would need to do is measure how much more room you need for that strip and add a seam allowance times 2. So if you're using a 1/2 inch seam allowance for each side of this, you're going to need to add 1 inch to this side and 1 inch to this side. Yes, exactly. And the other thing is you would need to remove that sleeve. Do this to the sleeve and sew it back in. But, you know, there's hardly any seam allowance in there at all. So you could literally, I know you hate it when I say literally, but I just said literally. You cut this part off. You're only losing barely a 1/4 inch. And so when you cut this down here, you're going to add this piece in here plus 1 inch on this side and plus 1 inch on this side. That gives you a seam allowance to both sides. Sew it in. And you're going to have to adjust the, okay, someone just asked about the arm's eye. So this is the arm's eye that you're putting this into. You have a choice. You can cut this back a little bit or cut it just a little bit lower or a little bit wider to fit that in. Here's the trick, trickiness. If you do that and you go to put in that armhole, if you cut that armhole too far over, I'm going to grab my dress form real quick here. If you cut that too far over, what's going to happen is you'll have, what do you call it? Well, okay, I'll show you on the dress form. Let me just move this up here a little bit. Okay. I'm just going to find this. Okay, hold on one sec. Keep you up here. All right. Hey, by the way, I forgot to tell you yesterday that Joe is doing better. He's been at a few shows, and we had a nice long chat. He's working on his new website, which is great, because I have a whole bunch of people asking when they can order more dress forms, and I did not have an answer for him. So, all right, so I have her. Let me bring this back over so I can see your questions rolling in. Hold on one second. I forgot to wear a belt today, so forgive me if I keep pulling up my pants. I told you it was a rough day. Thought I was kidding. All right, so when you're reattaching, if you do that for the sleeve, because you need to make more room for your sleeve, but everything else fit fine. Well, if it fit okay through this area and it was only tight down here, you can make adjustments and maybe cut out the underarm a little bit. But when you go to reattach that sleeve, this is for restyling, of course. If you cut this fabric on your top, if you think, well, I need to give myself a little more room, and you cut that fabric too far over, guess what? If you cut it way over here, and I've had this conversation with you guys, so I'll have people show me photos, their arm's eye is way down here and way over here. You know what that means? You are attaching your sleeve to your bust, so you lose all of your movement. So on my Evelyn pattern, I have my arm's eye cut about, it's very tight. Some people aren't used to that, and I'll get a message, hey, you know what? I cut my arm's eye wider because I needed more room. Well, did you ever try the sleeve on first? Because if you try the sleeve on and if it fine, then you're fine. But if you try it on without the sleeve, you might not be used to something that high. But once you put the sleeve on and it's really tight, it looks like a chicken. But you can move around and your whole top doesn't move with you. If your arm's eye is this wide, and I'm just going to use this as the example right here. Let's just say it's that wide and you're putting your sleeve right there. You just lost all of that movement. That's as bad for guys as it is for girls, because that means you just attach your arm to your chest. That's not so good. So for that alteration, Terry, if you decide to add that to the outside or underarm seam, put it into the sleeve, put it into the arm's eye, see how it feels first. You can post a photo and I can help you, but you know what? I think that would be a great upcycle project, and I think I will add that to the list next month. I already have April's almost finished, so it would have to go for May, but that is really a good idea. Okay, let's see. Yeah, the lace sounds really fun. Oh, like I have on now. Yes, that is like what I have on now, except this is a trim that goes over the sleeve. So this is, well, it goes over the sleeve. It wasn't a separate seam. I see Arnell says she has the same problem. Oh my gosh, you guys all have, Linda, she says she has the same problem with that. All of you are saying yes, so it's not just me. I agree. Yeah, I don't know. It's a little bit annoying. Okay, Let's see. Anne-Marie, what do you have to say here? You've been afraid to buy fabric online because you don't know how it feels and drapes without touching it. Any suggestion for how to be more informed? Buying locally is so limited. Anne-Marie, that is such a good question. I have to think of a good way to resource this, and I'm not sure. I've been putting some thought into this about maybe having a membership site where you can get into one side of it where I have links to this fabric, because I know a lot of the places that I buy from or certain fabrics, I can glance and I can tell by the content. But that's because I have 25 years of experience. For somebody who's just trying to sew online or buy something online, it can be challenging. What I would recommend before I come up with some great solution for you is contact whoever you're going to buy from. If it's, let me get scooched up here. If it's, okay, Vogue Fabrics, for example, who I love that store. And they also have an online presence. You can contact them and you can ask them for swatches. They will actually mail you swatches, which is awesome. And they're only like small pieces. Or, you know, if you work on small projects along with garments, just order a half a yard or something. It would give you enough to see if you like it, unless it's a hot fabric that it might be out, because that can happen as well, especially if it's a sale. So I'm trying to think what I used to do. Well, I used to buy way too much fabric. Those of you that read my book know that I bought about $20,000 worth of too much fabric. Yeah, we'll leave it on that. But that's because they came to my office and I touched all the fabric, and that was, way too spoiler. So what I would do is when you buy fabric, write down exactly what it is again. Write down what it is. I used to have a notebook, and I would love to find that thing. I probably still have it. I would have a 3-ring binder, and it would be full of those clear sheets that you can stick stuff into. And I would put a piece of paper like this, and I probably still have the file that I could let you guys copy. If I can find it, I'll put it in the group. Otherwise, this weekend, I'll make another one. You could just print it off from that. It had a square for the swatch. Then I wrote exactly what fabric it was, how wide it was, how to take care of it, where I bought it, and what the date was. The date's really important because I've gone back to look for fabric and I can't find it. But through time, when you buy it, you might say, oh, a rayon knit. Oh, I love that. Oh, wait, that rayon knit doesn't have any lycra and this one does. You'll know the difference then. Or, for example, tweed. Is it a wool tweed? Is it a rayon tweed? Did you just hear that? For those of you that have joined me in the afternoons, there just went our Dumb and Dumber bike. One of these days I'm going to be outside when he goes by. You guys are going to crack up. It's 30 degrees out and it is sunny, but yeah, I just heard him. Anyways, squirrel. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, yeah. Okay. So anyways, Anne-Marie, I hope that helps you a little bit. And all I can say is it just comes from experience, because you really can't return fabric last I checked. Yeah. Making your own swatch reference. Yes, that is, Susan, that is like one of my favorite things. And I used to do that all the time because I would buy fabric maybe way in advance for a fashion show. And by the time the fashion show finished, I'll put yours up there. By the time the fashion show finished, which would have been a few months after I ordered it, when I would get orders from customers, I would have no idea where I got it from or what buyer, how much I paid. Price is on there too. Things like that. Yeah, I know. Okay, let's see. Sawyer Brooks sends swatches. That's good to know. Here's a tip for you. Sawyer Brooks. You can see how she spelled it. They send swatches. I haven't ever ordered from them. Yeah, they're still pedaling. Yeah, Celeste, they are. Well, all you hear is and if you haven't seen the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about. Okay. Let's see. You've had very good luck buying online. Oh, wait, let me see who this company is. Oh, wait, here's a good one. Marlene, this is a good idea. She buys sheets at Goodwill and then washes and sanitize cycle. Then I use them to make muslin. Great idea. Marlene, actually, now that you said that, do you remember when I told you guys that Wynn finished painting my living room? It's our living room and dining room. I'm losing my mic. Sorry, guys. So he painted, but I had a bunch of sheets that I didn't want to use anymore. Well, some of them I did want to use, but they were actually for when I travel. I bring my own sheets with me. Yes, I know. Very high maintenance. But it's because I'm allergic to the detergents they use or the bleach or whatever. If you ever see me out and I've got red dots everywhere, it's because I forgot my sheets or my pillowcases. But every once in a while, I'll dump those sheets because when I get home, they go right into the wash with hot water. Well, he used those to put over the furniture, and some of them got paint and some of them had holes or whatever. So I just, yeah. I'm using that for a muslin. That's a good idea. But I'm going to end up with like little blotches of paint. I'll use that on the show. You like that? But that is a great idea. I never thought of buying that from Goodwill because there's a ton of that stuff. In fact, my mother-in-law last night just said, I have 2 sets of king sheets. Do you want them? And I said, no. I think I should say yes. I think that was a great idea. That's a really good tip there. Yes, sheets at Goodwill. Oh, hey, Terry. Thank you for joining, by the way. Okay, so Jean says that she has, here's one I was looking for. Jean says, I've had very good, you know what's even better about this comment thing is when I click on you, your letters get that big. I don't even have to wear my glasses. This is fantastic. I've had very good luck buying online. NR Fabrics has lots of stretch fabrics for kids. And you have returned fabric to fabrics.com. Did they take it back, Jean? I'm really curious because usually if you have fabric cut, you can't return it. So that's interesting. Now, fabrics.com, I get so confused because, well, I know Fabric Mart. I love Fabric Mart. And then there's fabrics.com and then there's fabricdepot.com. Which one did Amazon buy? I can't Google it because my screen is not to a Google. Someone, where's my Alexa? Alexa, which fabric place did Google buy? I know somebody will tell me here. Hey, Janice, sneaking in. Hey, Janice, did you send me a message this morning about fabric? It's online. There's only 4 yards left. So go get it. I could not find if that was you, but I thought it popped up while I was on the treadmill. That's the worst part is on my phone. I have alerts. I turn most of them off, but every once in a while I'll leave them on. And then I can never figure out where somebody sent me a message from, so I can't send them back. So if I never reply to you guys or you send me a message, send me another one. Yeah. Okay, so you guys think it's maybe fabric.com? All right. Okay, let's see. What do we got here, Rachel? You got a big one, I guess. I'm going to bring you up here. Oh, look at your cute baby. Okay, what is the best way to gain experience to become a professional, own your own small business? Do you offer free services, offer to work for free for an alteration shop? Do seamstress? This is a great question. Do seamstresses accept free work? I know it's a thing of those for those in culinary school, which I would know nothing about because that is not even in my vocabulary, culinary. That's a joke, by the way. They do for free to get experience, but how do I do that for sewing? You know what, Rachel? That is a good question. And a couple things. Do you want to do alterations or custom clothing? If you want to do alterations, one idea for you is, I mean, if you think, are you good? I mean, like, can you hem a pair of pants? And well, we all have our own insecurities. So I'm not going to tell you to come out and say that you're fabulous. But, I mean, you know that you could do a good alteration. You can hem pants. You can do minor things. Maybe you're still learning to do the more advanced, but you can hem pants. You can hem sleeves, things like that. Here's something you might want to do. And you don't have to do this for free. I don't think I gave free sewing away to anyone except for my family and friends, which that list was pretty long. And that's a whole nother Pandora's box that you might not want to open. But do you have boutiques in your area? I was trying to think of the word, little shops. Like here in St. Joe, we had a lot of little shops. And when I was trying to expand my business a little bit or just, get a little more recognition, it was a slow season when I was first starting out, something like that. I would go to all the little shops. Actually, this would have been when I first started because I'm thinking, where was I living? On a 3rd floor apartment that you're not going to get clients to come to because there was no elevator. I remember inviting some ladies up one time because I was starting a new business. Yeah. They'd get to my place. This wasn't for alterations. It was for arts and crafts. And they would get up there and they would be dripping sweat. I'd almost have to call 911. Three stories. And I'm overlooking the lake, which, of course, I know that doesn't surprise you. That's the only reason I moved there. So it's hot. Afternoon sun, it's hot. You could have your air conditioning on. It didn't matter. So when I realized that people couldn't quite make it up 3 levels of stairs for alterations, what I did is I went to a lot of the little shops, dropped my business card off, asked, if I could meet the owner. A lot of times they're not there or they're busy or whatever. But I introduced myself, and then I left a list of alterations that I do. It's nicer if you can talk to them in person because they can get to know your persona. But I offered to go to their store a certain number of days a week, like say every Friday or every Tuesday. Or if they had a special customer, like maybe they have a customer that comes in and buys a lot of clothes, they could call you and say, could you come into the store and help fit this woman? And then you take the alterations home, alter them, and bring them back. That is a great way to get your name out there. You don't have to do it for free. You could maybe say, I'll give you 10% off, for my first order to prove, but you know what? I probably wouldn't do that because alterations are your time, just like cooking, but it's a little bit different. So if you did that to a few stores and they hire you, well, then you pick the stores that you like the best, and that helps get your name out as well. Also, when you drop off the alterations, have a professional bill, maybe something stapled to the clothes, not stapled to the clothes, but maybe a little flyer or something that they can give to the customer. Flyers are really good. I think, you're like the third person that has talked about this. And I think I should put together some places that you can order these cards, because I used to use Vistaprint and then I found some others that were pretty cheap. It's just so easy to do and professional. I have stacks that I don't use anymore because they're outdated. Maybe the address changed or I don't like the logo anymore or something like that. So hope that helps. And I can help more on that, but that was a great question. Okay, let's see. Practice on thrift store pieces. Yes, that's a good idea. Oh, you were sewing on jeans? Hey, Mary, that's a good thing. Would you sew on mine? I still have mine from last summer here. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, did you seriously just say you buy Salvation Army on 69 cents on the day? 69 cents. They have a 69 cent day? That would be a good day to go. Mm-hmm. All right. Let's see, Terry, what do you have to say? Here we go. Sorry. I just recently started watching your videos. Love all the info you share. I would love to know your background. How long you've been sewing? Did you go to fashion school, etc.? Yeah, nope. I didn't go to fashion school. That was a yep and a nope. I've been sewing since I was 6. I went to college for engineering. I'm going to give you like the 2-second excerpt. I went to college at NC State. I don't even remember what I went there for. I just knew engineering was where I was going to go, but your first year is always like all those it classes anyways. And then I ran out of math classes and I was absolutely mortified. So then my family moved to Illinois. I transferred to Illinois State and graduated with a business degree and started my business right out of college. Someday I'll share the one interview I had with Bob Pritzker, which is hilarious. That was my only job interview. And I started my business right out of college. I met Wynn shortly after, and he said, what are all these clothes in your condo? I had stuff hanging everywhere. I mean, like not like a hoarder, but it was more like a design studio. And so he had to help me put on a fashion show. He didn't help with the sewing, but I didn't know anybody in this town. So he invited all the women. Not that he knew all the women. That didn't come out right, did it? Oh, goodness, Wynn, I hope you're not watching this. No, but he had a huge family and he's lived here forever. So we invited everyone we knew. I offered free wine and rented out a restaurant. And all the ladies showed up. I told them it was free wine. Can't miss out on that. And then I had a fashion show. And it was myself, my sister, and a friend that kept running in the bathroom to change. And that was it. I've been sewing ever since. So I will, I can give you more info on that, Terry. There's a lot more, but that was the 2-second excerpt. Yeah. Okay. So, I see a whole bunch more. These are even better questions than yesterday, but I still have a bunch from yesterday. Rhonda, what did you say? Does the light next to you have a magnifier on it? Oh, yes, Rhonda, you don't have this light? Okay, let me show you. I don't fall over. This is Shirley. Shirley's here. Oh, and yes, this is from Reen. And Wynn keeps telling me to take it off, but I say no. Reen, I love it. So yeah, this is my daylight light. And this one is the floor model. Yeah, you blind? It's awesome. So it can go every direction, or when the boys come over, they think it's like a laser light for Star Wars, which I don't let them do that. And then it has this magnifier, which I love. And I use this to paint my nails, and I also use it when I'm hand sewing, anything like that. I don't need to wear my glasses at all when I use this. So Rhonda, if you do anything with like that, you'll love it. And this thing comes on and off. So this is an attachment that you can find. And I recently added all the daylights to my, I keep losing my mic. Sorry about that. I'm just telling you that so you don't think I'm like scratching my back or something. This is an attachment that goes on it. I added all of these to my Amazon videos or to my Amazon influencer page, which I left on here. And also, if you want to order this, I have a coupon code for 20% off. If you send me a message, I'll give it to you. Or you can also find it if you go to angelawolf.com. angelawolf.com, and if you click on the last blog post, the discount code is right there, and you can buy it on Daylight for 20% off. Yeah, great deal. They've offered that to all of you guys, everyone that joins me on my Facebook Lives, all of that for the whole year. So if you're looking for something, if you can't find that coupon code, email me. Yeah. Okay, so Emma One Sock has great places to find fabric. Oh, you know what? Where is she located, Linda? Emma One Sock. I know that name. I want to say Florida or something like that. I don't know. Oh, you're welcome, Rhonda. Okay. Oh, okay, Tracy. Thank you. This is what I was looking for. Amazon owns fabric.com. Okay, so fabric.com, if they take returns, that is unbelievable because somebody just said that on here that they take did I just say returns? That I meant returns, but I guess apple, or tomato. I did not mean to say that. I was thinking in my head and it didn't come out right. So, that was interesting. Hey, Kay, I thought you were babysitting kids today. Did you, you are supposed to be babysitting. So, by the way, I brought Kay up here for a second because for those of you in the group, did you see those dresses that she made for her girls? Oh my gosh. I think you can see them on her circle right there. That's the yellow one? They were so cute. Absolutely adorable. So if any of you want in the group and you're not in there, just let me know. My sister might let you in. I'm just teasing. She will. You just have to answer the question and say why you want in. If you don't answer the question, we don't let you in. So we don't want a bunch of hackers in there. Okay, so you, Susan, what do you have on here? You returned a piece to Marcy Tilton because it was the wrong fabric and they were so nice. Oh, well, Marcy's one of the nicest people I've ever met. She is so funny, too. I have been honored to be able to work with her on a few things. So, yeah. Okay. Oh, yes. And yes, you did say. Jean says, yes, she returned them and they were very accommodating. That's awesome. So, first of all, if somebody ordered fabric from me, and I always say no returns because that cuts out anybody just like shopping and then going to return a bunch. Because after you cut like, say, 2 yards or something, what are you going to do with that fabric? But let's just say you got it and you're like, that's not the color I wanted. It's not what I thought. It didn't show up the same. Or you find a flaw. Now, last week I found a flaw in somebody's fabric that ordered from me. And I unbolted it. And it just had a little bit of something on it. Well, anyways, I called him and said that was the last 2 yards. And I am not going to sell it to you because I don't know what this thing is. I mean, I could wash it for you and see if it comes out. But then you're not getting new fabric. So we found something else. So, I mean, if it's something like that, I could totally get that. If it's a piece that you got and you're like, this is totally not what it said on the website, that's very understandable. It's just that usually, a lot of places wouldn't ever take them back. So I'm happy to hear that. I'm happy to hear that for a few reasons, because it's hard to buy fabric online. And if they make it more difficult, then people aren't going to buy online and everyone's going to quit sewing. 2 yards. Okay. Good morning, Deborah from Australia. I'll put that up there for a second. While I go to this next question. Pam Marshall had a great question from yesterday. All right, let me I don't think I can bring this up on here. I'll try. Because I try not to say as I'm thinking. Okay, I just did it. Okay. Pam wants to know, this is from yesterday's comments. Of the 3 measurements, so if you recall yesterday, I said you take 3 main measurements just for general fitting. I mean, there's a lot more measurements you can take, but if you're just trying to quickly choose what pattern size to start with or ready to wear to buy, You take your full bust, your waist, and your hips. That's the main measurements. Now, there's a lot more that you can take if you want to alter your pattern before you cut it out. I've always just cut, well, I take a bunch of measurements, I compare it to the pattern, make some changes and tweaks because I did it for customers. So you have to make a lot of changes. But she wants to know, Pam Marshall wants to know, if all of your 3 measurements are different sizes on the pattern, which one do you opt for? This is a great question. And I kind of addressed this at the beginning of the show. So those of you that are popping in now, when the show's over from live, you can always go back and watch, and I will put this up on YouTube. But let's just say that you're purchasing a garment. Let's not talk patterns for a minute. Let's talk purchasing. You're going to buy a jacket, and you look at the measurements. I had this whole sheet. Let's see if I still have those. All right. Voila. So let me just bring this down here. Let's just say that you're looking, now I highlighted these from yesterday, but you're looking at whatever size you are. I'm going to just put my glasses on for this part. Let's just say you want to buy this jacket, and the bust for this jacket says 35 inches. The waist is 27, and the hips are 37.5. Let's just say that your bust is 38, okay? But your waist is the same at 27, and your hips are 37. So that would mean that you're pretty much a size 8 with just a little bit of a larger chest. In ready-to-wear, you can't let that out. I mean, those seams are so small usually, unless you have a gazillion seams to let out, which you won't have. Those seam allowances are about half of an inch total. Maybe next week I'll bring a ready-to-wear from my front stash and cut it up so you can see the inside of what's really in there. In couture clothing, when sewing, a lot of times you might see people that add 1-inch seam allowances. That's also nice if you know that you adjust in weight a lot. It gives you a big seam allowance. I don't do that anymore because I pretty much have stayed the same size. Except when I fell off my bike, I gained like 5 pounds, which I'm still trying to get off. That's beside the point. But if you adjust in weight a lot and you sew bigger seams, it's easier to let out. But for that case scenario where your waist and hip is a size 8, but your bust is a size 12, that's a tough one. I would probably buy the 12 so it can fit through here, and then you can take all of this in. That's just easier. So that's one example. You really have to consider the garment. So let's just say you were ordering a pair of pants, and all of those measurements are the same. Then you would actually order the size 8 because your waist and hips would fit, and your bust isn't going into your pants, last I checked. So you really have to consider what you're buying. If you're buying a dress for that, and your bust is that much bigger, I would go with the bigger size, and then I would taper in because you can't let it out. And I think that's why when I sew patterns, I do the same thing. I go for the bigger size or wherever the fullest measurement is and then take it in because I altered ready-to-wear for so long. It's just kind of ingrained in my brain how to do things that way. So that was a good question, Pam. That was from yesterday. Okay, Sandy from yesterday wants to know, are the patterns in the Tunic Bible also plus size? That's a good question. I think I have that book here. You've asked me that like 3 times, I think, and I keep forgetting. So let's see. Hold on one second. Glasses. Sandy, this one's for you. In case you're wondering what I'm looking at. The Tunic Bible, very fun book. I told you they even signed it for me. They're so cute. Anyways, let's look at the patterns. What size are these patterns? The pattern comes with it. That's why I said I probably wouldn't order a digital version. Okay, this is what I have here. Extra small through extra large. Unless there's something different here. Nope, extra small through. So let's see what size this goes up to. What do we have? Same thing. Extra small to extra large. I don't see any measurements on here. So let me see. It might be in their book. I haven't gone that far. I'm guessing if that was the front. Yeah, I don't see any of those little measurements here. So I'm going to go with a no, Sandy. I'll go with a no. That there is not a plus size in this pattern. But there are a lot of tunic patterns out there that are plus size, and it would be adaptable to everything in the book. So I finally remembered to answer you. That's why I copied and pasted all the questions last night. All right, so let's see. How are we doing on time? Oh, goodness. You guys are so much fun. It's been an hour, and I hardly even noticed. So, okay, Janice, I'm glad you found it. And I see Sarah on here. So I saw those questions pop through. The measurements are in the book. Thanks, Christina. Well, I would assume that they are. Otherwise, you would never know what size you're going for. Let me see if it's in the front. I'll go through and find the sizes for you guys. But at least you know the general. Yeah. It's probably in the back here. Christina says the measurements are in there. So I'll stay on for like 10 more minutes and answer a few more questions, and then we're going to run. But it was a really fun hanging out with you guys today. Okay, so there's a few more that just popped up here. I had to put that up. Yeah, Wolfpack, for real. And so many of you said that you wanted me to come up with a name for all of you in my group. And I said, I don't know. I mean, I just call y'all my friends. So they said, no, we want to be your Wolfpack. Or what is it when you have baby wolves? Pups. I know. Okay, so anyways, yes, I did go to NC State, and yes, that is the Wolfpack. And I was there when Jimmy Valvano was there, and we won that big basketball tournament. And I was also there for one of the hurricanes. And I just remember standing on the balcony of my dorm thinking, if I let go, I'm going to be in so much trouble. And if anybody then, thank heavens we did not have cell phones or photos, because this would be online. I will never forget this. My freshman year in college, I had my hair. Okay, so you want to know the best thing for your hair? And I know that this is going to get the laughs. Mayonnaise with a little bit of olive oil with egg. I know. I could see your mouths. I could go ahead and put the laughs out there, and you mix it all up and you put it in your hair and you wrap it and you let it sit. And it's protein right on your hair. I'm telling you, your hair is so shiny, which it looks like I might need some of that today after pulling my hair out. Okay, so that's one thing. And then a mask on your face. So I had a green mask on my face. I don't even know what it was back then. Now I use yogurt, but at that time I didn't. And I had mayonnaise in my hair. And I don't even know what I was wearing. That was pretty much, it didn't matter at that point because the fire alarm went off in the dorm. Yes, the fire alarm went off, and you have like less than a minute to get out, and they lock all the doors to the dorms. Like, we had halls. So I had a suite with 2 rooms. So my room was like, they're like this big, and a roommate. And so I had to go out. Yes, I had to go all the way downstairs with this whole look going on. And I remember taking a bag and putting it over my head. No, we were talking a brown garbage bag. So all I'm saying is I am not even exaggerating. In fact, if anything, I am downtoning this. If this were the version of cell phones today, YouTube, Facebook Live, I would be ruined. Or I might make millions on Facebook. I mean, on YouTube, because everyone would be like, seriously? It was bad. It was really bad. The only thing worse than that would have probably been if you're whitening your teeth or something and had gook in your mouth. I don't know anything could be worse than that. So, yes. So, that's okay. You guys can be the wolf pack. Since none of you saw that, I guess you wouldn't be embarrassed. Mm-hmm. Better than when trying to model all the clothes. Okay, that you guys are just hilarious. And he is a trooper. Yes, he is a trooper. I'm just flipping through your comments. I could read them better if I put you up there. I know, Marcy. That is a good story. All right, guys. I see a few more. Engineering and pattern designing. They seem like they are closely related and natural progression. You are so right. In fact, when my dad said, you want to go into engineering, I was like, I don't even know what that is. But at that time, I was already designing clothes. I started when I was very young. I couldn't read patterns. I didn't understand them. That's why I try to make mine simple for the person who doesn't understand that lingo. But yeah, I love it. And it is engineering, especially now because I use CAD software for designing all the patterns for you guys. So it's pretty cool. I think you need that light, Rhonda. I think you do too. Michelle says she has one. Christine says she needs one. All right, what's this one? You've been sewing for 35 years. You've never been introduced to tailoring clothes until your show. Where should I go to find out how to properly fit your clothes from a pattern? Oh, that's a good question. I think that if you want to fit your clothes, okay, so I'm thinking for a minute, because are you trying to properly fit your clothes from a pattern as far as starting with the pattern, getting it to fit, and then sewing? If you could take a class to learn how to make a sloper that's your base size, or you have a pattern that wants to fit you, there's so many good classes. You know what? I think what I'll do is I'll make a list of these classes, because this is about the 5th person that's asked that, and put it on my blog, and I'll leave a link for it later. That's a good question. It's just too big to answer right now, but that is a good question, and I will definitely, I'm copying and pasting it and putting it to the next. I've got this like little feed now of your questions. Yeah, I know. Okay. Oh, hey, Connie, I got to throw that up there. Love you too. And I see, oh, hey, Susan, did you say that Emma Onesock, are you telling me where she lives? Oh, that's cool. So Emma Onesock. I have to go on there because I know I've met her. I just can't think of where. Yeah, I agree. Okay. So you guys have so many good comments. This is what I do at night. I sit and read them all because I can't see all of them on screen. Here's one. Jean. Yes, I do know that Amazon bought. That's what we were just talking about. And yes, I do support small businesses. Thank you, by the way. Thank you for supporting small businesses. That's the big thing. So, okay, yeah, Janice, they do return fabric, which I didn't know that either. So that's a good thing. I think that's great. But by the way, speaking of small businesses, when we were talking about Kohl's yesterday, we were saying, okay, I bought a bunch of shoes. Okay, so this is totally off topic for a second, but this is going to give you an example. If you purchase from a store, like you can go into the store and still purchase online, but it's still from the store. So like for example, Kohl's, that's a bigger store. It's not like a little guy like me. But you go into Kohl's, order a pair of shoes from their store, and they'll ship it to you, or they'll ship it from their store to that store. That's still an experience with the person. So for me, I still offer it. You guys have seen me at events where I run out of something. I never know. I mean, I'll send 20 Delilah tops and none will sell. I'll send 50 to the next show and they all sell in 5 minutes. I never know what crowd's coming. So I always say, if you order online, I'll give you free shipping. So I love the shipping aspect and being able to order online. It's so simple. But I love the part that I can join you on Facebook Live or YouTube and get to know you this way. So I feel like we're still an actual connection, even if we're not in person. Although I've met many of you, that's almost impossible. I definitely agree that sometimes when there's certain things that I will actually go pay a little bit extra for just to support my local store. Like, for example, Best Buy is here. And I'll go to order some things on Amazon for computers, and I'll look at Best Buy, and it's a little bit more expensive. Guess what? They will match the price. Best Buy will match the price if you go in there. And many stores will if you have the same exact product. So I appreciate you bringing that up because it's really important to support this. Otherwise, you know what's going to happen? We're not going to have anybody. We'll all be hanging out on Facebook all day. Well, that's not a bad thing, but I love shopping too. I went to Michael's today and found some things. All right, so I see just a couple more, and then I'm going to let you guys go because I have to go. Oh, yeah. Hey, Kathy. Thanks. Hey, by the way, I'm going to have to go soon because in case you missed that, I think it has the flu. And he won't get a flu shot, and I do. But I know that's a whole different thing. Anyways, I'm going to cook tonight. So if the flu doesn't kill him, my cooking might. But I'm really good at chicken, so I'll make chicken. So if any of you have really good recipes for me tonight, be sure to send them to me in a private message so it shows up while I'm at the grocery store. Okay, Ava, thank you. I love this session too. So I gotta run, but I have to ask you, give me a thumbs up or a heart or something and tell me if you liked this new format where I'm bringing you on the screen and you can see what's going on. I think it's very cool. Chicken noodle soup. And I think it's cool because your questions show up this big and I don't have to wear my glasses, which I love that. I know, I'm a little spoiled on that. So, I agree. Anyways, I think it's fun. I've been testing a few new things, as you know this. At the beginning, we had no sound, but I can't control that. There's all these kinds of things. But I'm just trying to make something fun for all of you. And this Q&A, if you guys like it, and I go back and I see that you guys gave me a lot of hearts and a lot of comments that you like this format, and we just go live with Q&A, I'm good with this. Because on the Wednesday show, I prep all week for that. I have little things for it. I have everything laid out. I just got done sweating because I've been running around the studio trying to work. And I was like, oh, day's almost over. I got to do a live Q&A with you. So if you guys like this and this is fun for you, we're in. And we could do it again anytime you want. It's kind of fun for me too. Plus I get to quit working for a moment. It's not really like work when I hang out with you guys. So, all right. Well, if I see a whole bunch more questions, I will copy and paste these. I think we should do another Q&A. This is really fun, if you ask me. I think maybe, I don't know what my plans are this weekend, but I think we'll just plan on something for next week. I will try to give you a 1 hour advance notice. It should show up on your page when I'm live. If it doesn't, you go to angelawolf.com, and I can show you guys how to do that. I just haven't figured out how to show you my screen yet. But and when you click on follow, then you click on next to something in follow where you want first feed. And that means you never miss when I go live. Yeah. Okay. Well, you guys have a wonderful day. I hope none of you get the flu over. I mean, the sicknesses have been going around like crazy. I'm going to go make chicken noodle soup. That's a good idea. I can totally handle that. Actually, I'm going to impress you, a full chicken. I have a clay pot, mushrooms in there. Let's see what else. Olive oil, just a little bit. Stuffing, potatoes. He probably won't eat anything because he doesn't feel good. So, yeah, I should just stick to chicken noodle soup. Good idea, Janice. So I hope you guys have a great day. It was so fun talking to you. I will tell Win hi. I think that's about it. Although I did read your comments yesterday about Cody's statement. In case you missed that, this is your laugh for the day. Cody was in the back seat. He's 6. His brother's 7, who just turned 8. And they were in the car with my mom, who's their grandmother, and their mother. And they pull up to this big sign that says, don't drink and drive. And they're just learning how to read really good and really fast. So Cody takes his bottled water and takes a swig, puts the cap on, and as serious as day says to my mom, Grandma, thank heavens you're driving. He took that literally. No drinking and driving, not even bottled water. So if you missed that yesterday, that is your laugh for the week because that is just too funny. And don't worry, I'm not making light of drinking and driving. I'm just saying the innocence of a child is precious. So you guys have a wonderful day. Have a great weekend. I will see you next week. If I don't see you beforehand, we're going to have to do this on Tuesday or something, but I will definitely see you Wednesday for the live show. All right. Stay in touch. Send your messages. Give me some spring weather. All right. Love you all. See ya. Me like good or medium good. Yay! Oh my gosh. I just can't believe it. It's like some days you got it, some days you don't. It's warm and sunny, even though it's terribly icky out. The sun is shining, but yeah, it's okay. So let's get rolling. And then there's your photo, and then there's your comment. I think it's awesome. So yes, so this is going to be such a fun Q&A.